They don't want you to know what you're carrying. Every single day, you walk around with the most powerful creative force in the universe stored within your body, and you've been conditioned to waste it without a second thought. This isn't just about sexual energy. This is about divine consciousness itself, locked away in your very cells, waiting to transform you into something beyond ordinary human limitations. What I'm about to reveal has been hidden from mainstream knowledge for thousands of years, buried beneath layers of religious dogma, cultural shame, and deliberate miseducation. But the ancient masters knew. The yogis understood. The Taoist sages practiced it. And now, as humanity stands at the crossroads of awakening, this forbidden knowledge emerges once again. You think you know what semen is. You think it's just biological waste, something to be expelled and forgotten. But you're wrong. Catastrophically, life-alteringly wrong. What you carry within you is nothing less than liquid light, condensed consciousness, the raw material of creation itself. And every time you carelessly release it, you're literally throwing away your godhood. For millennia, secret societies, mystery schools, and spiritual traditions have guarded one of the most explosive truths about human potential. Your sexual essence contains the blueprint for enlightenment itself. This isn't metaphorical language. This is biological reality encoded in spiritual science. Consider what ancient civilizations understood that we've forgotten. The Egyptians depicted their creator god Atum masturbating the universe into existence, his divine seed becoming the stars and planets themselves. The Chinese Taoists identified semen as containing Jing, the fundamental life force that determines not just physical vitality, but spiritual evolution. Hindu traditions speak of ojas, the refined essence of sexual energy that, when preserved and transmuted, awakens the Kundalini serpent and opens the pathway to cosmic consciousness. These weren't primitive superstitions concocted by sexually repressed mystics. These were sophisticated recognition systems developed by individuals who had achieved states of consciousness that modern science is only beginning to understand. They discovered something that threatens every system of control on this planet. Human beings are not separate from the divine. We are the divine, temporarily forgetting our true nature. And the key to remembering? It's stored in the very substance you've been programmed to waste, the biological truth. They don't want you to know. Modern biochemistry confirms what the ancients intuited. Your semen isn't just sperm swimming in fluid. It's a complex cocktail of over 200 proteins, essential amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. Zinc, calcium, magnesium, selenium, vitamin C, vitamin B12, fructose, citric acid. These aren't random chemicals. They're the building blocks of consciousness itself. Every single ejaculation depletes your body of resources that took days or weeks to accumulate. Resources your brain needs for optimal function. Resources your nervous system requires for peak performance. Resources your endocrine system depends on for balanced hormone production. You're literally draining your biological bank account for a few seconds of pleasure, leaving yourself energetically bankrupt. But here's what they really don't want you to understand. The same biochemical pathways that create semen are intimately connected to the production of cerebrospinal fluid, the liquid that bathes your brain and spinal cord. Ancient traditions called this connection the elixir of immortality, and modern neuroscience is beginning to validate their claims. When you preserve your sexual essence through conscious retention, your body begins to redirect these precious resources upward, nourishing your nervous system in ways that enhance cognition, expand consciousness, and activate dormant regions of your brain. This is why every serious spiritual tradition that has ever existed has included some form of sexual energy conservation as a fundamental practice. Why has this knowledge been suppressed? Because an awakened population cannot be controlled. Think about it. If people understood that they carry within themselves the power to transcend ordinary consciousness, to heal their bodies, to manifest reality through focused intention, would they submit to systems designed to keep them powerless? The modern world has weaponized your sexuality against you. Pornography floods your neural pathways with artificial stimulation, training your nervous system for instant gratification rather than energy cultivation. Cultural programming equates frequent ejaculation with masculinity, inverting the truth that real sexual power comes from mastery, not depletion. Medical authorities recommend regular ejaculation for prostate health, without ever mentioning the consciousness-expanding benefits of retention and transmutation. This is a carefully orchestrated campaign to prevent you from accessing your divine birthright. They keep you addicted to release, trapped in cycles of depletion and recovery, never allowing you to accumulate enough energy to break through to higher states of awareness. But what happens when you refuse to play their game? What occurs when you begin to practice conscious semen retention combined with energy circulation techniques? You begin to remember who you really are. And that terrifies every system of control on this planet. The moment you begin conserving your sexual essence, your body starts a process of reverse evolution, not backward but upward, toward your original divine blueprint. This isn't theory or wishful thinking. This is measurable, repeatable, life-altering transformation that thousands of practitioners have experienced throughout history. Physical metamorphosis. Your energy levels don't just increase, they explode. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative, requiring fewer hours for complete recovery. Your immune system strengthens dramatically, making you virtually impervious to common illnesses. Muscle development accelerates while recovery time plummets. Your skin begins to glow with an inner radiance that others notice but can't quite explain. Your voice deepens and resonates with newfound authority. Your very presence becomes magnetic, drawing people to you without conscious effort on your part. Mental revolution. Brain fog evaporates like morning mist. Mental clarity sharpens to laser precision, cutting through problems that once seemed insurmountable. Memory retention increases exponentially. You begin remembering things from decades past with startling detail. Learning capacity explodes as your mind becomes a vacuum for new information. Creativity flows like a river, with insights and solutions appearing spontaneously. Your capacity for sustained focus becomes supernatural, allowing you to work for hours without fatigue. Emotional mastery. The neediness that once drove your relationships simply disappears. You stop seeking external validation because you found an internal source of worth that never depletes. Anxiety and depression begin to dissolve as your nervous system recalibrates to higher frequencies. Emotional stability becomes your default state, unshakable even in the face of chaos. Confidence rises not from ego, but from deep knowing of your divine nature. Spiritual awakening. This is where the real magic begins. Meditation becomes effortless as your consciousness naturally gravitates toward expanded states. Intuition sharpens until you're receiving guidance that seems to come from beyond ordinary awareness. Synchronicities multiply as the universe begins responding to your elevated vibration. You start experiencing states of consciousness that you previously thought were reserved for advanced mystics or monks. Dreams become lucid and prophetic. You begin to perceive subtle energies and dimensions of reality that were previously invisible. But how does this transformation actually work? The ancient Taoists mapped it precisely through what they called the microcosmic orbit, a specific pathway of energy circulation that transmutes raw sexual energy into refined spiritual consciousness. When sexual energy is aroused but not released, it naturally begins to build pressure in the lower energy centers. Without proper direction, this energy seeks the path of least resistance, outward ejaculation. But with specific techniques, this same energy can be drawn upward through the spine, activating successive consciousness centers along the way. The process works like this. Retained sexual energy begins to warm and energize the base of the spine. Through specific breathing techniques and mental focus, this energy is drawn upward through the central channel of the nervous system. As it rises, it activates and energizes different regions of the brain and endocrine system, literally rewiring your consciousness for expanded awareness. The root center. Energy pools at the base of the spine, creating a foundation of vital force that supports all higher development. The sacral center. Creative and sexual energies merge, transforming reproductive impulses into artistic and innovative expression. The solar plexus. Personal power awakens as the energy rises, dissolving victim consciousness and activating your inner authority. The heart center. Compassion and love expand beyond personal boundaries as the energy opens the emotional centers. The throat center. Communication becomes clear and powerful, with words carrying energetic weight and influence. The third eye. Intuition and psychic perception activate as energy nourishes the pineal gland and higher brain centers. The crown center. Connection to universal consciousness opens as the energy completes its upward journey. This isn't fantasy or mystical speculation. Modern neuroscience is beginning to understand how practices like meditation and breathwork can literally rewire brain structure and function. What the ancients called energy centers correspond to major nerve plexuses and endocrine glands. What they described as energy circulation maps onto the actual pathways of the nervous system. Knowing the theory is useless without practical application. Here's how to begin your journey from unconscious depletion to conscious cultivation. Phase 1. Foundation building, days 1 to 30. Start with complete retention for 7-day periods, gradually extending duration as your nervous system adapts. Begin each day with 10 minutes of energy circulation. Breathe deeply while visualizing energy rising from your genital area up your spine to the crown of your head, then flowing down the front of your body back to the starting point. Eliminate obvious triggers that create unconscious arousal patterns. This means severely limiting or completely avoiding pornography, sexual imagery, and situations that activate your sexual energy without conscious purpose. Track your energy, mood, motivation, and mental clarity daily. You'll notice changes within the first week, but don't be discouraged if you experience some discomfort as your system adjusts. This is normal and necessary as your nervous system recalibrates for higher function. Phase 2. Deepening practice. Days 31 to 60. Extend retention periods to 14 days or longer. Add arousal control practices. When sexual energy arises, instead of seeking release, use it as fuel for energy circulation. Practice the big draw technique. During high arousal, inhale deeply while contracting the muscles between your genitals and anus, visualizing energy shooting up your spine to your head. Hold briefly, then exhale while releasing the contraction. Begin directing your enhanced energy towards specific goals or projects. You'll notice that your increased vitality naturally flows into creative and productive endeavors. Your motivation for superficial pleasures decreases while your drive for meaningful accomplishment increases dramatically. Phase 3. Mastery integration, days 61 plus. Extend retention cycles to 21 or 30 days. If you're in a sexual relationship, learn to practice energy exchange without ejaculation. This is where the real art of sacred sexuality begins. Both partners can experience continuous waves of pleasure without the energy depletion that accompanies release. Customize your energy cultivation approach based on your individual constitution and goals. Some practitioners focus on physical enhancement, others on creative expression, still others on spiritual development. The energy will naturally flow toward whatever you consciously direct it toward. Connect your sexual energy management with your life purpose manifestation. As your energy increases and your consciousness expands, you'll begin to see your role in the larger cosmic plan. This is where retention moves from a practice to a way of life. Make no mistake, every aspect of modern culture is designed to prevent you from accessing this power. Pornography isn't just entertainment, it's a sophisticated mind control system that rewires your brain for instant gratification and energy depletion. The images, the storylines, the constant novelty, all of it is calculated to keep you trapped in cycles of arousal and release that prevent energy accumulation. Social media feeds you an endless stream of sexual imagery designed to trigger arousal without providing any outlet for transmutation. Dating apps reduce human connection to swipe-based instant gratification, training your nervous system to crave novelty rather than depth. Even the fitness industry promotes workout routines that increase testosterone production while simultaneously encouraging its release through sexual activity. The medical establishment tells you that regular ejaculation is necessary for prostate health, completely ignoring thousands of years of evidence that conscious retention combined with energy circulation produces superior health outcomes. They never mention that the studies showing benefits from ejaculation never examine the additional variable of proper energy cultivation techniques. Cultural programming equates sexual frequency with masculinity, completely inverting the truth that real sexual mastery involves energy conservation and transmutation. Men are encouraged to boast about their sexual conquests while remaining completely ignorant of the consciousness-expanding potential of their sexual essence. When ancient traditions spoke of God residing within your sexual essence, they weren't speaking metaphorically. They were describing the literal presence of cosmic consciousness encoded within your cellular structure. Your DNA contains information patterns that extend far beyond mere genetic data. They contain templates for expanded awareness, extrasensory perception, and direct connection to universal intelligence. Every sperm cell carries not just genetic material, but what could be called consciousness seeds, quantum information patterns that, when retained and transmuted, can activate dormant regions of your brain and nervous system. This is why mystics throughout history have spoken of the sexual energy as liquid light or divine nectar. Modern quantum physics suggests that consciousness is fundamental to reality, that the universe itself is a vast information system where thought and intention can influence physical manifestation. Your sexual essence, being the most concentrated form of creative energy in your body, is thus the most direct access point to this reality-shaping power. When you practice conscious retention, you're not just conserving biological fluid, you're accumulating concentrated consciousness that can be directed toward manifestation, healing, and spiritual evolution. This is why practitioners consistently report experiences that seem to transcend normal physical laws: spontaneous healing, telepathic communication, precognitive dreams, and direct knowing of information that wasn't acquired through ordinary senses. What we're discussing isn't just personal transformation. It's the next stage of human evolution. As more individuals awaken to the reality of their divine potential through conscious sexual energy cultivation, we're witnessing the emergence of a new type of human being, one who operates from expanded consciousness rather than survival-based programming. This evolution isn't happening through genetic mutation or technological enhancement. It's happening through the conscious activation of capacities that have always existed within human biology, but have been suppressed by cultural conditioning. The same energy that creates physical children can, when properly cultivated, birth your higher self. Throughout history, individuals who mastered these practices became the visionaries, innovators, and spiritual leaders who advanced human civilization. Tesla, who practiced lifelong celibacy while producing revolutionary scientific breakthroughs. Gandhi, who used sexual energy transmutation to fuel his social transformation work. Leonardo da Vinci, whose preserved sexual energy contributed to his unprecedented creative output across multiple fields. These weren't exceptional individuals blessed with special gifts. They were ordinary humans who discovered and applied the principles of conscious energy cultivation. The same potential exists within you right now, waiting to be activated through proper practice. Here's what I'm asking you to do. For the next 30 days, commit to complete semen retention while implementing basic energy circulation practices. No excuses, no exceptions, no special circumstances. Treat this as the most important experiment of your life, because it is. During this period, you'll experience resistance unlike anything you've encountered before. Your conditioned mind will create elaborate justifications for why you need to release. Your body will generate intense sexual urges that seem impossible to resist. Your social environment will somehow conspire to present you with sexual opportunities and temptations. This resistance isn't random. It's the universe testing your commitment to transformation. Every moment you successfully redirect your sexual energy upward rather than outward, you're strengthening neural pathways that support consciousness evolution rather than mere reproduction. Keep a daily journal documenting changes in energy, mood, creativity, physical strength, mental clarity, and spiritual awareness. By day 30, the evidence will be undeniable. You'll have direct experiential proof that your sexual essence contains power beyond anything you previously imagined. The divine creative force resides within your body right now, not symbolically, but physiologically. The same energy that creates physical children can alternatively birth your higher self. The techniques exist, preserved through millennia by those who understood their importance. The potential awaits activation within your nervous system. You stand at a crossroads that will determine not merely your sexual experience, but your entire destiny. Continue unconscious depletion, and you'll remain trapped in ordinary consciousness, never knowing what you could have become. Choose conscious cultivation, and you'll begin a journey of transformation that will reveal your true divine nature. The God hiding within your sexual essence isn't waiting for permission or perfect conditions. It's waiting for your decision to stop wasting your power unconsciously and begin cultivating it consciously. Your choice determines whether you'll spend your life as an unconscious biological machine or awaken as the divine creative being you truly are. The power of creation waits within your body now. The decision belongs to you alone. Will you release the God within unconsciously or cultivate it consciously? Your choice determines not merely your sexual experience, but your destiny itself. The time for unconscious depletion is over. The age of conscious cultivation has begun. The question is, will you be part of humanity's next evolutionary leap, or will you remain trapped in the old paradigm of limitation and waste? Your sexual essence is your birthright to divinity. Stop throwing it away. Start cultivating it. The God within is waiting to emerge,